Okay, today we are going to do a comparison between the Floyd Rose Special, the Floyd Rose Original, and the Schaller Lockmeister. Now the Floyd Rose Special, it has the exact same measurements and will pop right into the same spot as the other two. They all carry the same measurements. The parts are interchangeable. The differences are on the Special, even your fine tuners are not quite as smooth. You'll notice on this one, you can see some of the chrome wearing off already at the pivot point. And I used this guitar, or this tremolo, I used it for maybe 2 hours tops. That was all it had in it. Now this one here, this is a Floyd Rose Original, and I've had this for close to 8 years now. I've been using it religiously on one guitar, but it doesn't have any of those same wear properties. Like there's no chrome coming off or anything like that. I mean, it does look, you know, it's been used for 8 years, so it doesn't look brand new, but it looks pretty good. The tuners are nice and smooth, as they should be. You'll notice too, well, let's go over the Schaller first. So the Schaller, same kind of thing. I put this in a Eddie Van Halen tribute guitar. I've played it for hours. I have absolutely no wear at the contact points, which is how it should be. That is going to dictate how things turn out. So honestly, to me, there's almost no difference between the original and the Schaller Lockmeister. However, these are both in quality, they're vastly different from the Special. Now if you look at the bottom plate on all of these, let's get them all facing the same way. Of course the Lockmeister's got the detune on it, but that's a conversation for another day. So if you look at the bottom plate, basically all it has stamped in it is an S. Now what that S represents, it's either South Korea, because that's where this one's made, or it's Special. I don't know. Now, the original, you can always tell because it's going to say made in Germany, as this one does. I don't know how clear that is, but right there it says made in Germany. Now, we fly over to the Lockmeister. Well, looky there. It's got the exact same stamp that says made in Germany on it as the original, which leads me to believe that they're the same plate, just with a different stamp over here, right? Got your Floyd Rose stamp, and then they've gone to laser etching the Schaller onto the newer Lockmeisters, which I don't have an issue with that. But the base plate is the same. Like even the screws, although you'll notice the Floyd Rose screws, these are grade 8 bolts, meaning they're very hard. Okay, so these are the same. Now if you look at the Special, there's none of that labeling on there. I would say these are probably grade 5s. The higher the number, the harder the steel. So if these are a grade 5, these are a grade 8, and I'm guessing on this one for the grade 5. I'm just guessing, but I would guess that that's what they are. Now these are both the same, made in the same factory. Now keep in mind, even though this is, I had to change the block out on this one because it came with a 32mm block. I needed a 37 for the guitar I was putting it in. That's pretty much it. They are plug and play. I know a couple of you were interested in how to install or do the swap out. I am going to demonstrate that here in a couple minutes. In fact, we're going to do the Eddie Van Halen guitar. We're just going to pop this back in there. I'll show you how it's done. I don't think we need to go through 2 installations, but stand by. I'll be back and we'll... Alright, so the first thing we're going to need to do is just pop it in the hole. It sits right on these studs right here. It'll sit up a little higher. This one's got a it's got a stop in it because of the detuna, but our height's good already, and now we just need to hold it in place while we snap the springs in. Stand by. Okay, so you're probably going to have a slightly easier time than me, only because I'm trying to do this with one hand. Well, I do have my two. Alright, so get your first spring on. Now because of the stop, I'm going to do one here because it's where the E string is. It's heavier. I'm going to use 3 springs because that's just the way I set the tension up. So I'm going to do one there. Now we're going to put the third. Sometimes you may need a tool to help you with that, to get it on there, but in this case, we got lucky. So now you just put your cover back on, or don't. Some people choose to leave it open. So that's not part of what we're going to worry about today. I mean, this is how you attach your Floyd Rose. On a Floyd Rose, you're going to need one of these. It's a Floyd Rose intonation tool. So once you do it, say it's in like this. Same thing, you're going to make sure it's in tune all the way. You have your tuner up there, right? We got a G string that's out, apparently. We'll put that right back in. There it is, perfect. So anyway, you do the same thing. You're going to lightly press on the 12th string. So open. Now those two notes should be the same on your tuner. In our case, I know this is in tune already, or the intonation is correct, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time actually throwing it out to throw it back in. So on this, basically the way this works is once you figure out which direction you got to go, you take the smaller Allen wrench and you loosen this while it's on the guitar with strings in place. So then what you do is you slide this into here, and basically it's going to hold this in tune. So with that screw loose, you can actually, with this knob, move the saddle back and forth, get your intonation correct. Alright, so basically again, you're going to loosen these one at a time. You're going to loosen, say you're doing your low E, you're going to loosen this screw. Just break it loose so the saddle slides back and forth. Now, another thing to keep in mind is there's 3 holes, right? 1, 2, 3. So if you need to go further with your intonation, you can. Like this one's kind of rested up against this little hole with it. Let's say we needed to go back further. We would simply screw it back loose and then take the screw out and put it back in the other hole. If that makes any sense. But that's basically it. So other than that, it's a drop-in type deal. Anytime you're dealing with the Floyd Rose Special, the Floyd Rose Original, I'm pretty sure any of the other Floyd Roses that you go to, like the 1000 and Harrison and those are the same dimensions. And the critical dimensions you get were the post ones. So you really don't want to get into modifying your guitar, especially if you have questions about the post. This whole thing is fairly easy to do when you're dealing with these 3 channels. It's the same operation, all the contours are the same. One other difference I'd like to point out while I'm looking at it is this particular bass plate was bent on a machine, where the other ones were machined, meaning, like you can see right here, there's a little bit of a sticks out a little bit because they bent that metal. Or the other one, that's the only shape they've ever bent. They probably cut numerous ones out of a block of some kind, whatever steel they're using. But anyway, that's it. If you have any more questions about dropping out one Floyd Rose to another, just keep in mind some of them are different, like the J-Co, I'm not quite sure. In fact, I'm fairly certain the post might be a different distance. You can't take a fender, also is a very flat fender. It's not a distinction. The post dimensions is different. That's very important. If you have any additional questions, just post on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.